Teacher would come in and switch the key here. All the decks come on, so the decks are moving slightly. Next thing to do would be to rewind the tapes. Teacher would then press teacher control, switching all the decks under teacher control now. These buttons here could then be used to see. Let's start by rewinding all the booths. Rewinding all the students' tapes there, look. You note that none of them run off the reel, they all wind forward a short way past the leader tape. Okay, the decks are rewound. Now let's select the master program, tape recorder 1. Let's start our lesson. Check the level. And now let's record this program onto the student booths. Lights up there.
De la administración civil, del Estado, de la administración de justicia,
should be coming through the speakers, headphones.
De los pertenecientes a las carreras judicial y fiscal, de la administración local, de los organismos autónomos, dependientes de una o de otra, y de las entidades gestoras y servicios comunes de la seguridad social que accedan a la condición de miembros del Congreso de Diputados o del Senado podrán de parlamentarios.
Let's say, for example, the teacher wants to see how a student is performing in the lab. With the teacher headphones, okay, through the teacher's headset, you have a series of controls here. Pressing monitor for that booth number would feed the signal to the student's headphones. The student's headphones would, the teacher's headphones rather, would be receiving what the student is doing and what the student is listening to at that time. If the student and the teacher need to talk about some problem, the teacher would press intercom, and this would mean the teacher's microphone here is in direct communication with the headphones of the student in the booth. Of course, we can stop now, I think. Let's stop the tapes. Now it's time to rewind. Okay, let's press rewind. Rewind all the booths. At this point, the teacher would now release teacher control. The lights go out. All the student decks are now operable from the student buttons. There's a relay inside that controls that. Now, we've just been recording on both tracks, the master and the student track. If I now press record here, I can record only on the student position. I can't erase the master channel. If I want to repeat any part of the lesson, I simply press record, and I will hear the master track and be speaking at the same time, so I can listen and repeat. If I want to hear what I've done very quickly, I'm going to use this function. This is called recap. If I press this button, if I hold it down, let's try and get the focus here. If I hold this button down, I say my piece, I'm not too happy with it, press recap. Tape winds back for 5 seconds, stops, and then goes into play, so I can hear what I've done. If I don't like it, you can press speak and directly record over it. Let's now have a look at the sort of physical side of things. This is the appearance of the Tandberg 5000 deck. This is the connection for the control panel. Let me pull that out of there. It's, I think it's a 21 pin connector. It can only fit in one way around. There's a series of pins there. Plug that back in there. The decks themselves are 100 volts, which means they can't be used on a normal supply. They need 100 volts from the console, from a special transformer, and they also have this cable here from the console which goes to the back of the control panel. Let me just disconnect that here. Okay. Okay, this is the connector. It's a McMurdo connector. I think there's about 18 pins on that. That contains 24 volts for the audio stage for the control panel and the lamps. The other relays and everything are powered within this machine by a transformer which scales the 100 volts down to approximately 30 for the logic boards. This can take the other 24 volts for this panel here. Fits into that connector there. Curious. This is a related thing. This deck here is the Tandberg TCR 500. This is the cassette version of the Series 5000 deck and could be used with the same control panel, the same connector there. This one unfortunately doesn't work at the moment. I haven't had the chance to get it working right. The sound is full of buzzes. But these machines were probably introduced around the same time. This is probably the last Tandberg reel-to-reel lab. Obviously these were smaller and cheaper and easier to make automatic, and obviously the tape was more protected from possible misuse, and generally cheaper all around. Anyway, that pretty much concludes our look at the IS6 Tandberg Lab. Let me now fulfill the operating procedure for switch off. We'll switch it on to teacher control, rewind the tapes, and switch it off here. Got the key switch. There's actually a distributor here which holds the mains on for a moment and sends a pulse out to the solenoids, so that if some tape is rewinding, which let's say we can do that, let me switch this one into free. Let's say we've got a tape here moving. Okay, now if we switch the power off now, that tape is going to go everywhere. Fortunately they've thought about that, and if we switch it off at the switch, the stop pulse comes through, tape stops beforehand, and nothing is damaged. So anyway, we'll leave it at that now. Thanks for watching.